and welcome to this week's episode of Winged Nation presented by Sage Fruit. I am Ashley Stremme, and joining me today is my girl, Erin Evernham. Erin, thank you so much. I know you've been on special assignment these last few weeks, so thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Special assignment meaning I was on spring break with my child, which is back to reality today. But thank you for having me come on.
Absolutely. And listen, I know you've been having fun in the sun with Kate, but you also got to hit the Amelia. How was that? Tell us a little bit about it.
That was great. The Amelia Island Concourse is something that we've been going to for years, but for the first time I was a judge. I was a lead judge of the Indy Roadster class, which was a little intimidating. I was getting opinions from Bobby Rahal and all these experts, and I'm like, I don't know much about restoration, but I'm learning quickly. So it was a great experience. Some amazing cars, some of the most well-known, expensive cars around the world are there every year. So it's just a great event, and I was excited to be a part of it this year.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that you were a judge. That's super cool. Add another thing to your list of things that you've accomplished. That's awesome. I love it. But we've got to get right into it because there has been so much happening in the sprint car world so quickly in such a short season thus far already. So we'll jump into a lap around the sprint car world. Turn 1, the Port Royal Rumble. Anthony Macri, Logan Wagner, a little bit of drama this past weekend at the Speed Palace. Anthony Macri ended up winning it. Erin, I'm sure you've been in that situation before. What's it like when tempers are flaring?
Well, it was a little different being a female in the sport, but I had a few incidents. I always talk to Terry McCarl about the few times we had some altercations. Sammy Swindell. It's hard. Everyone spends so much money and has so much effort into these races, and then you feel like there's things that can happen that are avoidable. So I understood it. It was kind of fun to see. I wasn't watching live, but I was following on Twitter, so I was seeing people's reactions, and then I saw Logan's tweet today and his somewhat of apology for his behavior type of or explaining himself. So it's kind of a fun part of the sport. People you don't want to be involved in it, but it's fun for us fans and media to follow along.
It's so true, and we didn't have Twitter back then, right?
So, thank goodness.
Now into turn 2, it is closing the gap. Brad Sweet and Carson Macedo narrowed the gap on David Gravel. Pretty crazy season. Obviously, wins are not at the top priority right now. It's consistency. David Gravel is leading the way with guys who have 2 wins, finishing 3rd and 4th in points right now. Now, granted, it's early in the season, but it's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like, we always talk about the competition level, but this year there's so many cars and teams and drivers that are so close. It's going to be really interesting to see as the year goes on.
It's true. Now down the backstretch into turn 3, opening day at Williams Grove. Justin Peck in that Misfits number 13. Crazy Williams Grove. Lots of cautions, lots of red flags, but Justin Peck came on top on opening day, even though it was a week later this week.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I was glad to see the checkered fall on that one.
I know Justin was excited. I believe it's his 2nd win at Williams Grove. So awesome for them and that team. Way to start their season. And then rolling into turn 4, it's actually one of our guests today. It's the ASCS Devil Bowl. Seth Bergman will be joining us here in the next segment. He was the winner of night 2. But Erin, one of our good friends, Wayne Johnson, picked up the win on night 1.
I was so happy to see Wayne back. Well, both of those guys back in victory lane, but certainly Wayne. He had a rough few years on the Outlaw Tour. It's nice to see him getting a checkered flag.
There's no doubt about it. And he has his own podcast, Keeping Up with Wayne on Wednesday, I believe, or something along those lines. So make sure you check it out. But we'll be back here with, like I said, Seth Bergman, your winner of night 2 at Devil's Bowl, here on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.